Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the daily scan for Thursday, March 14th, 2013. Well, the market looks like it's going to have a little bit of a pop this morning. Could be a good thing. Interesting, though, if I take a look at this is the SPX, or the S&P 500 cash index. The high, this is a chart from 1995 to today. You can see today we're at 1554.52, and the all-time high is 1576.09. If we break through that, you can bet that MSNBC is going to probably break out the noisemakers. That would be kind of a big deal in my mind. I mean, the Dow is one thing, but the S&P 500, which is what I consider to be the true index, is quite another thing. Alright, let's go back to the monitor tab. We'll look at all accounts here, and let's take a look at what happened yesterday from an announcement perspective. Yesterday we had retail sales and some of these other lesser important or impact announcements. And if we look at retail sales, prior was a plus 0.1, consensus was a plus 0.5, and actually came in at 1.1. So that's a big difference. That's more than double what the consensus was, and it's just a hair outside of the range of consensus. So nobody guessed this number, but what did it really do to the market? Again, let's take a look at the SPX, and we'll take a look at the chart during the day. So actually, if the market, at least the S&P 500 index, pulled back at the open, even with those great numbers, and really couldn't get past the previous high of this 1556.77, which is the high for here. This is 5-year weekly chart, so for the last 5 years, this is the high right here. Just thought I'd point that out. I mean, it really doesn't, I'm not sure it really means anything or not. Our two sort of insurance policies is SPY is definitely our insurance policy against the pullback, and IWM is a lesser of a insurance policy, but still an insurance policy nonetheless. Neither one of those are doing anything right now. The market is going to pop at the open here, according to the numbers that we're seeing right now. We'll cover our open positions as we go through the A+ list, so we're going to just jump right into that right now. Let's see here. Well, Apple's going to be the first one on the A+ list anyway. Right. Okay, we actually had an alert trigger yesterday on Apple, and I entered with a 430-440 March 4 position, as you'll see right here, for the fourth expiration in March. That was a little bit out of the money, and so I'm looking for a little bit of wiggle room here. Of course, right after I entered, it moved against me, but it eventually came back, settled right back at the open. This is almost a doji here, so we'll see what happens with that particular trade. I'm thinking that no, I don't think I'm going to exit my credit spread for this Friday for tomorrow. I was thinking of maybe exiting that today, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Apple looks like it's going to open up this morning. If we take a look here, we're looking at 430, 431 for the bid ask. Already 880 shares traded. between those prices, so it may open up, but anything can happen during the day. I'll just keep an eye on it. Amazon, yeah, no entry here. Still was looking for the stochastic to come down here and complete the cycle, and it never really did. I'm not comfortable with the secondary entrance there, so I'm already going to pay for this one, $240 for this one. I'll be taking that loss probably at the end of the day tomorrow. That's okay. I can live with that. All right. Baidu. This is a currently have a iron condor for April on Baidu. No entries here. Downtrend, stochastic down. Downtrend, stochastic down. Nothing there. CF. Just too flat. Not real excited about that one for any sort of directional play at this time. Just sit here and collect money on this iron condor for now. Chipotle. Yeah, so we were watching this one thinking that quite possibly I had an alert out on this one, and it actually triggered on this day, and I watched it and it looked like it was going to be okay. I didn't do anything. I didn't pull out of this March credit spread here, and I'm glad I didn't, because it turned around yesterday and actually it's giving us an entry long. So we are going to put an alert in here just above yesterday's high, and we may jump in on this one today. Alright, that's Chipotle. Salesforce. It's moving down into our target here. We'll just wait for that one to develop. Looking pretty good overall on the long term for a bullish trade, or bullish spread. Google. Moving down here, we may get an entry here in the next day or two. Just keep an eye on it. Everything else is looking positive for a bullish trade so far. So we're going to wait for that one to mature a little bit. MasterCard. MasterCard's coming down and may give us another entrance, but on this particular one, if I do a directional trade, I am going to be definitely with a delta of 20 on this. So let's put a circle in there. And there's our target. We'll see if she comes down there. Netflix. Wow, it's just not doing anything here, is it? It's not giving us any sort of entries. Definitely a potential neutral trade of some sort. I may have to think about that. I will investigate that today. Make a note. I'll see if I feel comfortable with an iron condor on that or not. Alrighty, price line. I don't have an iron condor on that for April. It's a little bit too late right now for April. I'm locked and loaded on April for right now, so I'm not going to worry about it. And there's nothing happening here, even though they're in an uptrend, but it's been flat, and the moving average is coming up to the price here, which it has done before, but I like it. I like to see the stochastic come down and get down here to 20 or so. I would prefer that. So this target's no longer valid. We'll take that off. And then last but not least, Panera. Pretty flat. We're just sitting here with an iron condor for April. We're good with that. No entries for any directional trades on that. And then one last thing I wanted to do for today, keep it a little bit shorter, is on my in play list you can see that I have NAVB, which is NVIDIA, and they have been kicked around by the FDA with a targeting drug. One of those drugs that they use to find cancers, and this is a drug that they developed specific for lymph node cancers, to find them, because there's lymph nodes all over your body. There's several of them. I don't know if they're all over your body or not. I think most of them are in your neck area. But anyway, they can become cancerous, and it can be very troublesome because the cancer targets the lymph nodes, and it could be hitting all of them or some of them, and I don't know how many there are, but there's quite a few, I guess. And that the only other way that they were doing it before was with a blue dye. So they got approval yesterday for their drug, and I just wanted to show this to you. It was a very interesting day yesterday. Intraday, let's do 10 days, and we'll do 1 hour. So here's what happened yesterday when they got their announcement. So we entered this at $3.04 a while back, and they got their announcement yesterday, and volume just like exploded. Of course, volume down. It's been like around, actually under 100,000, and then when the FDA went back to reinvestigate the drug, then the volume picked up to, and it was over 100,000 on an average, and then it kind of quieted down here, and then yesterday it just blew, right? So we had 4 million shares, 4.5 million shares change hands in the first hour after this announcement yesterday, which was at 11 o'clock. And then it pulled back, and then it came back up. It's hard to tell what's going to happen today, but we'll take a look at this again sometime in the future. This was a purely speculation play. I don't usually do this kind of stuff, but I thought, well, I was watching this stock for a while, and let's go to like a daily chart, and I saw it kind of pull back. It actually was up here around $4, almost $5, and it came back down. So I'm sort of like hoping that it moves back into that $4.50 range, at which time I will cash out. So that would be, $1.50 a share, and I got a couple hundred shares on this, and didn't really throw a lot of money after it. So I thought I'd just give it a shot and see what happens. So happened to stumble on this based on I think a Seeking Alpha article. I'm not bragging about this or anything. I'm just letting you know that I do dabble in a few other things in addition to options. So I'm not that narrowly focused. Just thought I'd let you know. All right. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and happy trading.